Good morning, or afternoon, or whatever day it will be. How is it going today? Okay. So today, oh my goodness, I have sweat outdoor. Yeah, you guys get to see me, my sweats. I'm in the morning mode. But I am going to be going straight into trigonometry of the 7th kind here on this. Okay. So for me, I've got my screens all up. I'm going to start to do what I do with what I do. So I'm going to bring this down. Are you all ready? So that is on. The heat is on. So it's this one, and then turn this one on. So there we are. That's my front screen. Getting ready to pop up some of the fun. So I'm going to boom. Oh, not that. That's the live stream that we're doing right now. Yeah. Now let's go back to. Oh, here we go. GIMP. Okay, y'all. This is my GIMP. GIMP is GIMP. It is a free open source program to the slight equivalent of Photoshop. Now, I was just looking into it a little bit more yesterday to find out there are a couple other link sites you can go to that are kind of to the equivalent of GIMP to give you all the features that you would probably get from a fully professional program. You will be using multiple programs to do it. That's what it looks like to me. I could be wrong. Comment anywhere, anybody, anytime, anyway. Okay. So this is my GIMP program right here. I am working on the comic book cover for JohnnyTronic. So yeah, this is my dude right here. I do all my own stuff. So any artwork you see all the way up into that little corner thing or the little 7, that is okay. So that is real quick. I'm gonna let everybody know what that is. Here, I'll pop up the big one so you can see it better. Just real quick. So that right there is my @7, but the A stands for AM. It worked out so good. It went up and down on the scale of. I started looking, and then if you look at it, the yin yang symbols, of course, in the shape of an S for the @7 show. Oh, that's so sweet, and look at that. Oh, the color's so crisply. I just love it. See it? Look at it in all its glory. If you look at it, you can see behind at the how when it swirls around the back side, it looks like it's going through a mirror. All the layers just went on. That's all. That's not 3D. That's done on my GIMP program, as a matter of fact. So yeah, this is what GIMP can do. It can do more, of course. I am hauling rear end to get anything done all the time, but that's my life. I love it that way. So let's get into this thing. So yesterday I want to start working on the boy in the front. I can do all the background stuff later when, on my own end. That's what I was doing yesterday. After I got off, I did a little more work on the troll. So if you take a look at it, I did a little more work on the troll. Now the bottom end of the troll I'm not too worried about because that's going to all just be mist and cover. Because once I get my other layers up, you'll see that there's, I have my mist layers that aren't up right now. I have that mist right there. See, when that mist starts to come around, it's going to look like clouds because these are huge giants. These are like I keep raising my arms and I got sweaty arms. Ugh, sorry about that, guys. But so these are megalithic characters. They're comic book slash. So this is the media. JohnnyTronic is a media. I don't know what to say. Like he writes the wrong of certain things that can twist the fates of media. I don't know. He's 8 years old. The fact that he is so young allows his innocence to also be his virtue. There's something in what I'm doing right here that's deep, but at the same time, I'm kind of letting it write itself a little bit along the way. Because I know I'm going to hear stuff from people that's going to make me go, yes, that's awesome, great idea, I'm going to do it. And I don't want to, not use elements that are useful. So I'm going to get rid of the blast. I'm going to go into my Johnny layer over here. So I have my JohnnyTronic 1. And I'm just going to, actually I want to rename it to JohnnyTronic layer, because number 1 is obviously for the fact that there's a copy layer like that. So I'm going to call it layer. Later. Yeah, no. Okay, JohnnyTronic layer, I'm going to go into my JohnnyTronic color. What I do is I use my roping tool for everything. From here on out, my top layer is my outline, and I use my roping layer to do anything I want to do from here on out. So I'm going to start off by cutting off my shield. I want the shield on JohnnyTronic's back to actually be a full shield. So I want it to be an actual full shape of a shield. What this is right now is just a drawing of a shield. So I don't have to do too much. I want to get it to where I can fill up as much of my screen with it as possible. So I'll put it in the middle, put my cursor right about in the center, zoom in a little more, and that's about where I want it to be. So I'm eventually going to be making another layer, and I'm going to have it below my actual body layer. So this one's going to be called the shield layer. I know I said I was going to color, but I've been wanting to cut the shield off for a while, so you're going to watch me rope for 2 seconds. It shouldn't take that long. So I always start my bubble outside, and then I start my roping. Now this is just the outline, so I'm only worried about the black ink on this one. I could rope real good. Why don't I rope real good? Because that way I can also cut the color off too. You know I'm going to do that. Sorry everybody. So I am going to follow the character pretty good. And when I do that, I always notice it's a lot better when I'm using my mouse right now. For some things I use my mouse, and right now I always notice that my pen tool does better on these kind of things, because what it does is so my mouse uses the square, and it will take a chunk of my screen, and that's the square that it's going to be using. So you have to keep picking it up and moving it, and picking it up and moving it, and picking it up and moving it. The pen takes that same pad space, and it says that the paper that you're looking at, the screen you're looking at, is in this area of yours. So you can now use it a lot easier. I do the same thing. I start a point, I bring it to here, and then I start drawing around. Try to keep it on the black line if you can, because this is where the color is getting cut. And it's not that hard. You get used to it. It's mostly knowing how to move your hand on the pad and not cause a jitter. So you have to like weight your arm funny all the time, and that's okay. There we go. So now I can just pick it up, boom, touch down, and boom. So that creates my space that I'm going to cut out. So I'm going to cut out both things in this to create my my shield layers now. So first things first is I'm going to get off the layer that I just created, which is shield, go on to my JohnnyTronic layer, which is the outline that I have. And first I'm going to do is I have it set to where, I mean, it's the standard keys on this is Command C to copy. And then on my pad I have cut, but it's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, I forget, I think X, Command X. But you cut it, Then I go down to my JohnnyTronic shield layer, and then I Command V, which is my copy. It's going to put it floating over the top right here. But what I do, if you look down, it colors the things that you can now do with it. So I can either ditch it with my X, I can anchor it down to my shield layer, or I can create a whole new layer right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to anchor it down with my I'm going to anchor it down to the shield layer I had created for it. So boom, there it is. I can kind of see a line. I don't care. That will all disappear. That's my shield cut 1. I got shield cut 2 and then shield cut 3. And then I'm going to fill in that space behind the actual... I'm going to take my shield and then put it behind the color layer of JohnnyTronic. Oh, dang. Here's what I forgot to do. So before I do that, I'm going to have to back up a little bit here. So there I am still. So I got to go down to my shield layer. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to put it back to, I had it there. And then, again, I dropped it to it. Why did it do that? Why did it ditch my... This is GIMP. It does shenanigans from time to time. Okay, so there's my shield layer. I'm going to now Command V it. It's floating. Oh yeah, when it does that. But, so the first thing I should cut then, here's what I'm going to do. Boom, boom. The first thing I need to cut is my color layer, because that has the shape I need behind it. Hey, what the color layer? So I'm going to cut this one. So I'm once again Command C. Command C is my copy. Go to my shield. And let me see. Oh, that's what I need to do. Blank that. Go to my shield layer and then watch Command V it. There's my color that I want. So what this will do, that ain't half bad. I like this. Now here's what I'm going to do. Oh, I got to anchor this turkey down to shield layer, but I'm going to now call this shield color. The reason why everything's gray, everybody, is I always keep raising my arms and seeing it. Woo! Okay. The reason why I keep things in gray is I will change them. Up top here on my bar is my color. I go to my color and my temperature. I'll start changing. I start changing with my temperature, and then I go to my balance afterward. So what I do is I will temperature change to a color spectrum, which if you go into temperature, it will bring my gray tone into a yellow, blue, red, like a primary color, more like. That's what I always think of it as. It'll bring it to like a primary color that it's good for you. And then I take it to my balance, and then I balance that color out real quick, and then from there, so that way if you really wanted to, you could shadow and shade your character in its gray, and it would do just fine, just to let you know. So if you have it set like this, and you go through in your gray, and you shade it all in this right here, so as a black and white, or gray tone scaling, should I call it? So you shade it in gray tone. You can then do your temperature changing afterward, and everything will work its way out in the temperature change. So you change the temperature of it, and then you color balance it, and you don't have to then go through and do multiple colors. So you can do everything in gray as a grayscale or black and white. Most people will call it for whatever reason. It's not black and white, it's grayscale. So when you color it in its grayscale forms, you will be able to then afterward just do little tweaks to get what you want, and you just rope everything off, cut it. You don't even have to cut it. I usually leave, okay, so I'm cutting the shield off so I can remove it off his back, really is all I'm trying to do. And that way, when I color it, I can color it so much better if I have a whole shield in the back and color it like it's behind a boy's back. So I'll color the whole thing. I know that's a little excessive, but that's what I do. I like to make sure that it's a good look. And that way I can take the shield off and I take it off, change the look of this image anytime I want to, reshift it, and send it back out as something else. Like I could send out 4 different images just like this with Johnny's clothes all changing if I set up the layering just right. This is running a little long right now, everybody. I'm at 16 minutes. I'm calling this one a day right now. Thank you everybody for showing up, who did show up. I would love to see people chatting in my chat bar. Anything you guys want to see, please let me know. This is right here, just kind of having fun with the art side of things. I would love to have the chat bar going because I would love to be chatting about other stuff. So you guys can just watch me doodle while we talk. I would rather be talking about more or less other stuff, and when the chat bar hits like, what did you just do there? Then I'll talk about my art. That's what I would rather do. I would rather be chatting about life and cool stuff. But let me know what you guys want to see, and I'm all about that. That would be fun. Tell me how you guys like the setup here, all the setup on the channel. How you guys like things looking? What do you guys kind of want to see? And I could focus more of that on this channel. This is what I like to do. So once again, anyone who wants this done, go to my website, which is over across the screen there. If you want to see more pictures, go across the screen over there and you'll see my Instagram page. Those two right there are the best indicator of a lot of the artwork that I do a lot of. I do a lot of silicone prosthetics too. I do a lot of sculpting. Since I'm always in my computer, I do a lot of 3D digital stuff as well, which I turn into, so this right here, I have a whole thing on my Instagram page where it's a little bee dude. I wish it wasn't so bright on the screen. I wish the screen was so bright. Let me do something real quick here. See if this will work. The screen wasn't so bright. These things, there they go. So that's my little bee dude. I created that in my 3D program that I use. I use a lot of open source stuff. It's just the way I am. I would use anyone's stuff. It's just right now cost is an issue. Just is. So right now, in order for things to come over the margin scale before I can start buying the upscale things, I use free open source, and when I can, I try to throw money at people for their quality. And I know that's not even enough for the effort that they put in for me to be able to do what I'm doing right here. I should be throwing the founders and makers of GIMP anything I can, so that way they can keep creating this amazing program that does so much. It does so much for free. Professional scale, like I said, if you look over at my top bar up there, you'll see the underneath DaddyBot JohnnyTronic logo, I have the 7, like I said, the @7 show symbol there, which if you look at it, you see it. It's the @ symbol, the 7 symbol, show, and then you could tell it's in the AM because that A. Oh, it's so awesome. I love how that worked out. I should put a little M in there somewhere right next to it, but it would throw off the @. It's so simple. I use 3 symbols properly, and I layered them, and everything came out torqued nice. It looks so sweet. I'm happy with it. I don't know if everybody else is. Let me know if you like it too, everybody. Put a comment down below if you do like the new logo that I made for the at 7 o'clock. Please, I would love to have more people showing up, talk to me, chat to me. I would love to be talking about other stuff than me and my art. I'm done right now, everybody. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button. It's getting real. Have some fun. Sorry about the armpits. Oh. Okay. Let's stay here. Let's do this thing right. Today was a really fun day. I'm gonna end this show the only way that I know how. make up a song, sing about my son all day long. JohnnyTronic is my comic. I love it now. It's so much fun. Come and see this show again tomorrow. It's gonna keep on going, never end. You! Come on, everybody. Peace. Have a good one.